Hello students, welcome back to Hexxit Education. My name is Kenny, and this is lesson number 5. And this lesson is going to be a little bit unusual because we're going to talk about two different things that don't seem to make any sense together. But in the context of what you need when you first start Hexxit, they actually do make a bit of sense. So first thing we're going to talk about today is the Twilight Forest, and most specifically the Twilight Forest Portal. In order to make that, you need, well, you don't actually need this. This is the Twilight Forest Portal in our overworld campus, and I embellished it quite a bit with a mossy cobblestone. I got some redstone lamps there, glass, water. All you actually need, though, is a 2x2 with 4 on each, with a 4x4 on the opposite side of it. Basically, this donut shape here, and it has to be made out of dirt. It can be made out of regular dirt, or it can be made out of grassy dirt. Doesn't make a difference. What does make a difference is what you put on top of it. You need to put natural objects. I'm going to use flowers in this instance, and note I'm using vanilla flowers. That is, ones that are available in the vanilla version of Minecraft. Now, it's possible you might be able to get some of the other flowers to work there in Hexxit, but I don't believe so. I think it requires natural objects from vanilla Minecraft in order to function. You can also use, in addition to flowers, mushrooms if you can get the light level low enough. Next thing you do is get 2 buckets of water, and you're going to make an infinite spring. So this corner here, and this corner here, just like you would normally. Now, for the secret ingredient, you take 1 diamond, and you toss it into the water. There we go. Cool, isn't it? Now you see I took a little bit of damage from that? That's normal if you stand too close to it. Most people do take damage to it just because of how close you have to be in order to actually hit it with a thrown diamond. I've heard some people actually die when hitting it, but that's relatively rare. So, this is my first time creating this portal, so let's head inside and see what we can see. Loading terrain. And I should say this is the first time making this portal in this map. I've made at least a dozen different Twilight Forest portals. So let's see where we spawn. And it could be good, could be bad. Yeah. The worst place I ever heard of somebody spawning is inside a Hydra den. And I've had some pretty good places to spawn. Mostly open plains, that kind of thing. Relatively close to at least one of the magical sites. Okay, this is taking a little longer than I thought, so I'm going to come back when this is fully loaded, so be right back. Oh boy. Okay, I'm back, and wow, this is not a good spawn point. Okay, let's see, we are in fact in a dark forest biome, which is one of the scariest places you could be in Hexxit. Essentially, it has roofed canopies overhead so that all kinds of mobs can spawn here. One of the things about Twilight Forest is ordinarily, when you get into there, you don't have to worry about mob spawning because it's perpetually twilight. It's too light outside the world all the time for mobs to spawn. However, when you're in the dark forest, it is much worse because the light level is such that mobs can spawn all the time, and unusual ones spawn all the time. In addition, such as the skeleton druid, and I have no armor and I have no weapons and I don't really want to die here. I do however want to point out that this is a bad biome to start in. If you look at my mini-map here and you look over here, that is a dark tower. I spawned next to the place where you would find an Urghast, which is actually pretty freaking cool considering these are relatively rare to find. Most people only find one per sort of a magic map partition. So we're right next to a dark tower. So good start. Now unfortunately I'm not going to be able to go through the Twilight Forest in this lesson, and I probably won't get to it for quite some time because it is endgame content. I recommend you wait until you have bare minimum full iron armor, preferably enchanted diamond armor, before you venture into the Twilight Forest. It may look sort of peaceful and nice and everything, but if you venture into any of these dungeons, you wish you had better protection. One final note, look down at the Oh crap, look quickly at the portal. You see, you have mushrooms, different kinds, and ferns, and a dog trying to kill me. Ah! Whew. Okay, I made it. Alright, and to the best of my knowledge, things from the other side cannot go through here, but I could be wrong about that, so we'll see. And to be perfectly honest, I don't even know what that dog was that attacked me, but that skeleton was definitely a druid skeleton. So, okay, I'm gonna make it daytime to reassure myself. And okay, so that concludes our lesson on how to make a Twilight Forest portal. I'll be back in a moment with the second part of the lesson, which is Artificial Enchanting, which is upgrades available through the Artifice mod. And welcome back, students, to the second part of this lesson, which is on the Artifice mod and Artificial Enchanting. Now, I decided to add enchanting or artificial enchanting in a fairly early episode because these enchantments, which most of you will probably never have seen before, are relatively easy to manufacture and are useful on a wide host of things. And they're probably most useful when you don't have access to an enchanting table so early in the game before you can get your hands on a pick that can mine obsidian. So, for this lesson, we're going to go to the second floor of our forge building. This is our melee weapons department. And welcome. Here we have an array of all the weapons and tools that are available in Hexxit, or at least a good cross-section of them. We're going to be coming back to this room very often in the next few lessons because beginning with our next lesson, we're going to start to talk about the various tools that are available and then the weapons that are available in Hexxit. So, on to our lesson about Artificial Enchanting, that is, enchanting from the Artifice mod. These are the enchantments. Pretty cool, aren't they? Oh, you know what they do. Basically, you take one of these, put it into a crafting table with one of the items that you wish to enchant, and it adds the enchantment on top of it. If you mouse over to one, this one says Sharpening Kit, Weapon or Tool Upgrade, Sharpness or Efficiency 3. What this means is you can use one of these sharpening kits to either give Sharpness 1 or Efficiency 1 to a weapon or tool depending on what it applies to. Now it says Efficiency 3 because that means you can upgrade it up to 3 times. So you have 3 sharpening kits, put it on a sword, you get sharpness 3 on it. You cannot however go higher than that. That's the limitation of these enchantments, but for starting in the game, these are very useful and very easy to manufacture. Here, I'll show you. So a sharpening kit, I'm not going to show you all of them, but yeah. Flint, coal, iron, and a stone. That's it. Just that to get a level 1 of an enchantment. And you want level 3, just get 3 times as much of this material. It's that simple. I'm not going to go through all of them right now, but believe me, they're all this easy to come by. A couple of them require slime. I think maybe one of them might require like string, but I don't believe any of them require high-level items at all. So, let's start this. Now I'm going to go through each one of these, but primarily what I want to show you is what they apply to. So what I have in my inventory is a pretty good sampling of items from different mods within Hexxit. So, and of course I press R and this thing reset on me. I need to reset that stupid key configuration. So first and foremost, we have a regular bow. This is straight out of vanilla, and we're going to take here, reinforced limbs. Take one of those, put it in there. This is a shapeless crafting, so it can go anywhere it wants. And here we get punch 1. Okay, now I wanted to see if this works. We can take plated string. We use this one. We're going to take this one, put one in here, and it does work. So now we have punch 1 and power 1 on a bow. For all it took was a couple of these items here. Now, one thing I'm curious about though, if I put 2. Okay, so it does not, yeah, that doesn't give me options. So you cannot just skip ahead, you have to actually go like this, in order to get more of it. But you see, this says punch 2, this has punch 2, so I can't go any higher, so it won't give me the option to make it another time. Alright, so that was just a vanilla. All these guaranteed to work on vanilla because this is obviously a mod that's meant to work independently of things in the mod pack. It's the other ones that I'm concerned about. So we're going to go through these and we'll see what works with what. So first up is a Freezerite pickaxe, which has essentially Aqua Affinity 1 on it. That is increases underwater mining speed. Essentially the same thing. So I'm going to put, let's see here. Where's efficiency? There it is. I'm going to take a sharpening tool. And nothing. Okay, I hope you're writing this all down. So the fallen meteorites mod does not work with Artifice. Okay, next up we have a blue cloth chest plate. This is from Project ZULU. You make this using chest material. So let's try and put protection on this, armor protection. Blast protection. Okay, that works. So we got it. Okay, so the Project ZULU does work with the Artifice upgrades. I'm sure I'm going to be mispronouncing them all the time, but in any case. Okay, Skull Giant Sword, that's actually part of ASGARD shields, or one of the extensions to it. Actually, there's two add-ons, one for HARKEN Scythe and one for something else, but it should be the same rules regardless. So we're going to try and put sharpness on that. And it works. Excellent. I was really happy about this one because the giant swords are actually the best kind of swords in the game, so it's very good to be able to put these enchantments on later. And actually, a question just occurred to me. So we're going to take a quick break from this, and I want to test out a theory. Be right back. And welcome back, students. We are on the second floor of our library. This is the enchanting room. We're actually going to plan on putting a lot more things in here, especially from bibliocrafting. Once I get down to those lessons, probably at least 20 or 30 episodes down the line, so we're going to learn how to use them. But this is the enchanting table. I've got a double layer. We're going to talk about this more when we talk about Enchanting Plus in a couple of lessons. But what I want to check right now is this. This is, if you haven't seen it before, this is the new Enchanting Plus layout for Hexxit, and I wanted to see, because we just used an artificial method to put an enchantment on these items. I am curious, however, if it's registering. Okay, good to know. So it only functions. Okay, what I was trying to do is I was attempting to refund levels in order to get back, sort of cheat and get levels back from these items, essentially sort of farm levels. That does not work. So whoever designed this thing had this in mind, or at least had some incompatibility designed in the program, so you can't cheat and get levels back for potentially a couple of simple items. So okay, so that does not work. Glad I found out. I'll be right back. And we're back in the melee weapons department. So where were we? Alright, so we just confirmed that the ASGARD Shields mod is compatible. Now we're going to try the CHOCOCRAFT. This is a Choco Disguise legs. Not entirely useful, but still, might as well check it anyway. So I'm going to try and put protection on this, blast protection. And it does not work. Okay, so CHOCOCRAFT does not work with the Artifice enchantments. Next up, we have a Biomass Axe that is from HARKEN Scythe. So let's see if this works. I hope this one does work, in fact. It does. Excellent. The HARKEN Scythe provides a number of really interesting weapons and armor, so I'm glad that these work. Okay, next up we have the Fusewood Sword from NATURA. Let's see if this works. And just for change, I'm going to try and put knockback on it. And it works. Okay, so it works with NATURA. Okay, now this one I am almost positive will not work. This is a stone hatchet. This is a stone tool rod and a stone head and a stone hatchet head from Tinker's Construct, and I'm almost positive this will not work. So, but let's give it a try anyway. Yep, I was right. The reason is that one of the defining factors of Tinker's Construct is you cannot enchant any of their items. So that does not work, but as to be expected. Next up, we have a fiery pick. This is from the Twilight Forest. And let's see if we can. What are we gonna do? Let's just try and give it efficiency. And we got it. Okay, so we have efficiency on the fiery pick. Excellent. Okay, next up. Let's see if this works. These are cloud boots, and I wish I could remember which mod these come from. I'll probably post it right below when I figure it out. But let's see if I can give these, because these already have essentially feather falling X. So that's not. I'm not going to try and give it feather falling. I want to see if I can give it protection though. Yes. Okay, so the cloud boots, whichever mod they're from, do work. And okay, so this is a big sword. This is from Better Dungeons. This is a kind of an unusual sword. Not my favorite because it doesn't do a lot of damage. However, it does have an interesting AoE charge ability. So I'm gonna show that when we get to our episode on swords. So let's see if I can give this sharpness. And I can. Okay, so the Better Dungeons mod is compatible with this. And last but not least, this is a piece of scale armor from Hexxit. This is the Hexxit gear mod. This is the signature piece from this mod pack. So let's see if I can give this thing. Let's try Aqua Affinity. See if I want to breathe underwater. And it works. Okay, so the Hexxit gear is compatible. Excellent. So in general, we only had, see this, the Tinker's Construct, the CHOCOCRAFT, and yep, I mean, I could be wrong about this, but as far as I can tell, there are only 3 mods that produce armor and weapons that are incompatible with these upgrades. So for the vast majority of things you'll be producing, these are certainly compatible. It's unfortunate about the falling meteors, because I highly recommend you use fallen meteors materials, especially the meteorite armor and weapons and tools, as often as you can, because once you find a couple of meteor strikes, it is incredibly cheap and it is just as durable as diamond. So it's unfortunate you can't upgrade it, but then again, it doesn't need a heck of a lot of upgrading anyway, with the exception of this, which is a freezer red pick, because freezer red happens to have relatively low durability, so it could do some unbreaking, but I'm not going to complain. The vast majority of these mods are compatible with Artificial Enchanting. So I'm just going to quickly now go over each one of these, just to show you quickly. We've got, let's start at the beginning here. We've got the Sharpening Kit, which is sharpness or efficiency. Reinforcement, which is unbreaking. Reinforced Limbs, which is punch, that's for bows. Plated String, that's for bows, that's power. Counterweight, that's knockback. Armor Spikes, that's thorns, up to 2. Laminated Plating, which is protection. Quilted Cover, which is projectile protection. Elastic Scales, that's a boot upgrade for feather falling up to 3. Definitely not as good as the cloud boots, but not bad until you can get some gold and some feathers. And Fire Damp, which is fire protection. Elastic Layering, that's blast protection. Scuba Tank, which is respiration, very useful when you don't have any other mod that'll help you breathe underwater. And last but not least, Dive Kit. Now, one thing I was glad to test at the beginning of this lesson is this section of the lesson is the fact that I was able to put more than one type of artificial enchantment onto this bow. Meaning you could, if you wanted to. In fact, I'll do it right now just to make sure I can. I'm going to put Aqua Affinity and Respiration on this. So this has now become my scuba helmet. Well, not totally, but I have to put a couple more on it to make it much better. But these do in fact stack, and they are in fact compatible with each other for the vast majority of these mods. Okay, sorry about that. I had a bit of a crash to my desktop, but I just want to thank you all for watching. This has been Ken Kadia for Hexxit Education. Class dismissed.